He had 99% of the votes in his favor, but it was no surprise that former security head John Lee was the top contender for the chief executive post, as there was only one candidate on the ballot. Ordinary Hong Kongers weren't invited to Sunday's vote. Just 1,500 elites, vetted by John Lee himself, were allowed to pick the city's leader.
特首選舉，我覺得基本上其實都唔係好關我哋呢啲市井市民嘅事咯，因為其實我個了解好似佢嘅即係投得票嘅人好似都只係得千幾個，咁其實係變相有700幾萬都係投唔到票，所以其實我覺得佢就算係有啲咩嘅嘢，其實都唔好關我哋事咯，因為我哋都冇得投咁樣咯。
根本就係欽點咯。係，如果容許我講嘅就係中央政府委派佢去做咯，而唔係俾市民去當選。
Lee is credited with helping shut down the sustained 2019 anti-government protests, which took over the streets of Hong Kong for nearly 6 months.
This shows that security and law and order continue to be a very important priority for the central government. I think it shows that they're not confident about the security situation in Hong Kong, and therefore they need a policeman to continue to crack down.
Over the course of this one-horse race, Lee has done little to inspire excitement among the people or renewed confidence in Hong Kong's future. But this failure to earn popular trust may in fact be what earned him Beijing's trust.
John Lee does not demonstrate the political skills that I would have thought someone would need to govern Hong Kong. Evidence of that is the way we backed into the protests in 2019. One of the characteristics of all of our chief executive appointees is they do not have political skills. And this seems to be a requirement. They are not able to mobilize, galvanize the people of Hong Kong. They're not charismatic. We do have politicians who can do that. And I'm not referring just to the ones in jail. I mean, those people who are in Exco now, some of them. They are able to do that. But the party does not want these sorts of people. So we are left with people without political skills.
In the 2 years since Beijing's imposition of the national security law, Hong Kong's freedoms have been rapidly shrinking, and hundreds of activists, politicians, and journalists have been caught in its dragnet. When Lee begins his first 5-year term on July 1st, experts say we should expect more of the same.
In the past years, we have seen the Chinese and Hong Kong governments were relying upon the law enforcement, particularly the police force, to suppress protests and to arrest political opposition leaders and activists and journalists in order to stabilize the regime. So it is not too surprising that Beijing wants to consolidate its control on Hong Kong by choosing a hawkish hardliner who has a police background and who will be absolutely obedient to Beijing's command.
With Hong Kong's government under complete control of Beijing and its proxies, the city is expected to introduce local legislation, in addition to the national security law, to expand its range of weapons to further clamp down on critics.
And it is also possible that churches, religious organizations, they will be under the local national security law. It is also possible that the government would introduce a licensing system for journalists in order to tame all the local media outlets to be obeyed to Beijing.
While Lee's elevation was never open to debate, it is still a pivotal moment, governed by business people and civil administrators since its handover in 1997. Hong Kong is for the first time in the hands of a candidate from the disciplined services. He is also the first to face no competition, even from within the ranks of the pro-Beijing faction, or from a committee already stacked with government loyalists. Lee is a new breed of leader for a new Hong Kong. Ho Kilpatrick for TaiwanPlus.